Welcome to CGD's conference call. This call follows the first half 2025 consolidated results release, which took place yesterday. It is possible to follow the results presentation from the CGD website. The CFO, Mr. Antonio Valente, and the head of IR, Mr. Nuno Pereira, will guide you through the presentation, and a question and answer session will follow.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to CGD's results presentation, which will be delivered by Caixa's Chief Financial Officer, Antonio Valente. In the end, we'll have a Q&A session should you have any questions at the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I would like to begin this presentation by thanking you for the opportunity to share with you the most important aspects regarding Caixa's performance in the first half of this year. And we can start with slide number 5, just to mention that CGD's net income was 893 million euros, slightly above last year's result. The rest of the message that you can see in this slide, I will go through all them during the presentation, so we can move to slide number 7, just to make some comments on the ratings. So Caixa now holds clearly differentiated credit ratings following the upgrade to rating A from S&P in May, after receiving an A- rating in January this year. We have also the assignment of an equivalent rating by DBRS, which was upgraded in July to rating A with a stable outlook. And we have also the best or the highest baseline credit assessment among the Portuguese banks through Moody's ratings. So these ratings are important for us because they confirm a view about our balance sheet and the low risk assets and the low risk profile of our balance sheet. It will also remarks a very clear high capital levels, a solid liquidity figures from Caixa, and above all, in slide 8, you can see that CGD has a very strong franchise in the Portuguese banking market, which enable us a growth of 6% in business volume in the last year, with an increase of almost 9 billion euros. From a credit perspective, you can see that also that there was a growth of 8%, broadly robust across all segments, but with a special highlight in the new mortgage lending, which reached a historical level of 2.6 billion, which represents an increase of 63% just in the year-on-year perspective. Regarding corporate and institutional lending, we grew 7%. On the deposit side, we had an increase of 5%, pushing the total savings from our clients above 100 billion euros, which is an historic milestone. In slide 9, we have the figures and what represent this commercial performance in terms of market share. So this performance in business volume allowed Caixa to maintain, and in some cases reinforce its leadership position across most business areas, such as in the deposits, with a retail deposits and investment funds market share above 31%, and also in lending with a specific highlight in the mortgage lending, where we have a market share close to 24%. Slide 10. It's important to mention that all this commercial performance that Caixa had in the last year is supported by several factors, namely the availability and the way that our clients can access our products and services, And as you can see, the number of transactions through digital and automated channels continue to grow over 8% during this last year. In the next slide, we have the second factor that we believe that helped this performance. That's the reputation brand value. As you can see, Caixa continues to increase its reputational index, and it's quite above the Portuguese banking average. In slide 12, Caixa has been recognized with multiple awards and distinctions due to the performance that we have in other dimensions like financial soundness, digital and technological innovation, human resources and business areas such as investment banking and asset management. We believe that this cross-functional performance is one of the pillars for our commercial success. Lastly, I would like to mention in slide 13, I would like to highlight that Caixa has reached a leadership position in ESG, and we achieved a AA rating from MSCI ESG ratings. So this is the highlights, the main highlights for in the overall perspective. Now maybe we can move to slide 15 with a perspective regarding our economic performance. So as I mentioned before, we have a net income of 893 million euros, and this performance was the main performance drivers were remain the same that we had in the previous quarters. So the main driver was a reduction in the net interest income of 10% during this last year. But it's important to mention that the pace of this the decrease it's slowing down when we compare with the previous quarters and especially when we compare the second quarter of 2025 with the first, we have already an increase in terms of net interest income. The second driver for this and second main driver for this performance, as you can see, the decrease in net interest income was almost offset by provision reversals. And this is due to good reasons that I will explain later. Just a final remark in this slide, it's important also to mention that in the other provisions and impairment, you can notice a decrease in this figure when we compare with June 2024. And this is due to the fact that last year, Caixa booked a provision of 126 million for the potential liability that we have with the pension fund that we transfer to the national pension entity. So in this provision is not repeated this year. So it's a one-off effect that affected last year accounts, and we don't have the same effect this year. In the slide 16, we can see and we can share with you some information regarding net interest income. So as you can see, net interest income declined 10% year on year, largely due to the ECB's monetary policy, which began the reduction of reference rates in June 2024, which reflected in the Euribor rates, which is the main reference for our loan book portfolio. So just an example, the 6-month Euribor dropped from 3.85% in the first quarter of 2024 to 2% in the end of the second quarter of this year. So a decrease of 100 basis points that is almost reflected in the interest that we collect from our mortgage loans. This reduction has also impact in the risk profile of our clients, as we can see later. Another negative impact that we have, as you can see in our balance sheet, Caixa holds a significant liquidity position placed in ECB, and the remuneration that we get from that deposit decreased more than 200 million euros during this period. To compensate these negative impacts, Caixa adopted several measures. The first one, I can say, it was to try to sell to our clients more fixed rate in the mortgage loans, or at least in a mixed product with a fixed rate during the first 3 up to 5 years. We also increased our investment in security portfolios, as you can see in the following slides. We had also an active interest rate risk hedging strategy that allow us some positive income this year when compared with last year. And finally, we adopted a very effective funding cost management that allowed us to reduce significantly the cost of deposits during especially during the second quarter of this year. Moving to fees and commissions, they remain quite stable during this period, with an increase of 1% in the domestic operation. Caixa decided not to change the pricing of our services during the last 3 years, and the areas where we are putting some efforts to raise it, to increase the fees contribution continues to be payment service and card transactions, which increased both due to volume and value of the transactions. And also we are making some efforts in terms of fees from investment funds and the bank assurance. Moving to next slide, about costs and operating costs, we can see that our recurring operating costs had an increase of 28 million euros, driven by Caixa investment in technological transformation to enhance our customer service across all the dimensions. Despite the cost increase, Caixa maintains a very low cost-to-income ratio, both compared to the Portuguese and European average, and also when we compare to a historical benchmark of 43% that we observed in 2022 before the interest rate began to rise. Moving to the next slide, and regarding provisions and impairments, this was the area that Caixa performed very well due to external factors such as the interest rate reduction and the Portuguese macroeconomic indicators, and also due to internal reasons such as our ability to restructure and recover non-performing loans, and to manage the credit portfolio by reducing the exposure to higher risk assets and clients. And as we can see in this slide, the credit recovered amount 37 million euros, a figure that is quite similar to the last year. We had a release of 29 million euros in terms of provisions to exposures to guarantees, due to the fact that in some higher risk clients we cancelled that guarantee, so we were able to cancel that guarantee. That allowed us to release these provisions. And finally, in terms of credit impairments, we have a reversal of 51 million euros, driven mainly by the macroeconomic conditions. As you can see, we had lower interest rates. Portugal had economic growth. We are in a situation of almost full employment, and all these factors together lead us to a lower risk assessment for our loan portfolio and the need for impairment. It's important also to mention that you can see also the use of a provision regarding restructuring costs, where we have a use of 59 million euros. And this is due to the fact that our early retirement program is today fully provisioned, and is fully provisioned until 2028. So in the previous years, we booked a provision to cover the liability from this program, and this year and the following 2 years, we will use these provisions to finance the early retirement program. The same applies to compensation mechanisms that is under the pension fund transfer. And today, Caixa has in its balance sheet a provision of 36 million euros that covers, in a very conservative way, the liability, the potential loss that we can have with this liability. In slide 20, we can observe that we continue to improve our NPL ratio and the reduction of NPLs due to the fact that we continue to grant credit in the best clients and in the lower risks. As you can see, the segments of moderate and strong credit rating increased this semester when we compare with the same period of last year. All these factors driven the cost of risk to a negative value of 32 basis points. In slide 23, I think we can move to 23. We have some balance sheet figures, and we would like to highlight the fact that our total assets exceed 160 billion euros, and our business volume is above 169 million euros, with an increase of 9 billion euros, and driven by both lending and customer resources. In slide 24, we can see that Caixa has today a deposits base of 77 billion euros, with an increase when we compare with last year of 5%. And in terms of balance resources, we had also an increase, and today we have 24 billion euros in that type of resources. It's important to highlight that Caixa has an increase of 38% in terms of deposits when we compare with the pre-pandemic period, placing Caixa in a clear leadership position with a 31% market share in retail deposits. Moving to some figures regarding credit. In this first half of the year, Caixa had an increase of 2.6 billion euros with a growth across all segments. And in slide 27, it's important to give you some perspective with the historical figures for credit. And in this first half of the year, Caixa reached and surpasses for the first time the loan portfolio that we had in 2016 before the recapitalization program. So today, after all the restructuring that we have to do in our balance sheet, we improved our commercial performance, so we were able to increase our loan portfolio to a level that is today above the level that we had previously. But and as you can see in this chart, with a better risk profile due to the fact that we have a lower needs for impairments that we had in the past. Moving to slide 28, just some perspective regarding the corporate credit figures. As you can see, Caixa achieved an increase across all the Portuguese major economic sectors, and it's important also to highlight that we increased, and our increase was also above the market growth in each one. Moving to slide 29, this is to illustrate the fact that Caixa is reinforcing its position in the SME segment, and for the first time we were the first bank granting an important distinction in Portugal that it's called the PME leader status. Moving to slide 30, this is one of the major highlights that we have to share with you regarding the first half of 2025 performance. This is due regarding the mortgage lending production. Just some figures to share. So we have a production of 2.6 billion euros of new loans that represented a growth of 60% when compared with last year, clearly outperforming the market. It's important also to say that 93% of this operation has mixed interest rates. So the first 3 up to 5 years have a fixed rate, and after that period it changed to a variable interest rate. And with a loan to value of 71%. But this 71% is affected by the Portuguese government program for young people that is trying to buy houses, and that loans include a state guarantee of 15%. So in that cases, in that new loans, we are granting with an LTV of 80 up to 85%. So led some increase in the overall LTV of the production. Excluding these operations with state guarantees, our loan to value is about 60%. This performance in terms of new loans allowed us to an increase of 88% in our portfolio. So Caixa has today 26.7 billion euros in the mortgage portfolio, reinforcing its market leadership with a market share of 24%, almost 24%. Moving to the next slide, 32, is just to mention that Caixa has a strategic measure and a strategic focus in terms of consumer credit. So we continue to try to grow in this segment, and the figures show that we have a sustained growth with an increase in terms of production of 34%. Moving to the next slide, we represent also a strategic factor. It's important for us to continue to divest in non-core assets. So as you can see, in the last year, we reduced our non-core assets by 18%, especially in non-performing loans. And when you look to the chart that is in the right, you can see that this reduction in non-performing loans were mainly driven by queues and recoveries, cash recoveries, instead of sales and write-offs. And also, another important message is that the value of cures and cash recoveries was more than the double of the inflows in terms of non-performing loans. Moving to slide 34, we can observe that the non-performing loan ratio continued to its downward trend, reaching an extremely low level, even when we compare with the European peers. And when we look to the level of coverage, we have a coverage today of 191% when we consider the impairment that we have for that non-performing loans and also the value of the collaterals. Moving to the next slide of and non-performing exposures. Just to mention that here we have two different messages. When we look to the domestic operation, we can observe an improvement in terms of our quality of our balance sheet with an increase in stage 1 exposures and a decrease in stage 2 and stage 3. When we look to the consolidated figures, they are affected by the reclassification of Mozambique sovereign debt, because as you know, in the beginning of this year, there was a downgrade of sovereign debt of Mozambique that led an increase of our stage 3 due to the reclassification of the Mozambique sovereign debt that our subsidiary in Mozambique has in its balance sheet. Moving to the next slide, 36. Here we can see what I mentioned before. Caixa put in place a strategy to cover and to protect its net interest margin through investments in sovereign and supranational securities and maintaining a conservative profile. So the portfolio grew 27%, or more than 5 billion euros, but keeping these investments continue to be in a very good ratings and with a diversified portfolio. In the slide about the liquidity, the next one, we can see that liquidity remains robust, and the main change that we can see here it's the reduction in the deposits that we have placed in ECB of around 5 billion euros that were invested in securities. So you can see that the securities that we do, the available assets that we have to place in ECB and to raise funding through ECB increased almost the same value of 5 billion euros. Moving to next slide about MREL, it's important to mention that SRB communicated Caixa in last May that they updated our MREL requirement with a reduction of 60 basis points to 25.68% in terms of requirement. Moving to capital ratios, Caixa continued to strengthen its capital ratios. We have an increase of 66 basis points, even in the context of business growth, and this is due to the current profitability of the bank and our ability to generate organic capital. And this performance is important also to highlight that these capital ratios are already deducted or already considered the dividend payment that we are considering to have with a payout of 50%. So, and the CET1 ratio is 20.9%, which represents a buffer of 12.1% above the minimum required by the ECB. Just to finalize this capital perspective, we used to present this chart just to give you the figures about the capital that Caixa generated since 2016. That was the year of the recapitalization. And you can see that Caixa generated 6.9 billion euros in terms of capital, and part of it were distributed to the shareholders, so 3.3 billion euros. But we kept in our balance sheet 3.0 billion euros in terms of capital that represents a significant buffer to allow our growth in the next years. So just to finish this presentation, some closing remarks. So Caixa achieved some historic milestones in the first half of this year. In this slide, we present 20 key indicators that illustrate our positive results and our leadership position. And we believe that we are in a very good position to continue our growth and to continue to be and to reinforce our franchise in Portugal and to continue to be a profitable bank. So now we are available for questions that you may have.
Thank you. At this time, we will open the question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad, and you'll be placed into the queue in the order received. You may remove yourself from the queue at any time by pressing pound and 1. And it appears we have no questions in queue at this time. I'll turn the call back over to our host for any closing remarks.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining the call. Should you have any queries following up to this conference call, please feel free to contact the Investor Relations team. Thank you and have a good weekend.
Thank you for attending the conference call. The audio webcast will be available on the CGD website.